In this assignment, I have a link up here for you to our introductory chemistry lab manual, and it looks like this. I just want you to pick a lab experiment here and then draw a flowchart of part of the procedure. You've got to have at least 5 shapes in your flowchart, and there has to be at least one decision diamond. So you pick some part that you find amenable to that kind of a flowchart. All right. As an example, I'm going to pick a procedure in an introductory physics lab manual from another school, so that I don't steal any options from you from our introductory chemistry lab manual. So I pick this procedure, and I'm going to flowchart this now. Here, let me just, for convenience, take these steps and put them in my lab procedure flowchart. Okay. All right. So I'm now going to make the flowchart. All right. So starts with recording the mass of the projectile. So I'm going to start the flowchart with my oval, and I'm going to start by I'm just going to say start here. All right. And then I'm going to record the mass of the projectile. So that's going to be a box. Weigh projectile. And an input for data. Record the mass in lab notebook. All right. And then I'm going to, I have to weigh the projectile and the pendulum. Record the masses. And then I'm going to measure the distance. All right, so I'm going to go do that. I'm going to measure distance from projectile to, from pivot to the center of the bob. From pivot to center of bob. All right. And I'm also going to need to copy and paste that. I'm also going to be needing the distance from the center of bob to center of mass indicator. All right. And then I'm going to need to set the apparatus along the, now, presumably, once I've measured these distances, I'm going to need to write them down somewhere, so put that right here. Record distances in lab notebook. All right? And maybe I'll take this moment to, put these arrows in here. Oh, that arrow is too big. Right. Oh, that's not. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, that's not good. Okay. So I'll just be putting arrows in here. I'm going to copy and paste that arrow so I can maybe use it again. Like that. Okay. All right. So I will have to connect all of these with arrows like that. All right. And then set the apparatus along the left edge of the table. All right. So I will do that. Okay. And then in order to eliminate recoil, I'm going to attach the clamp behind the apparatus, right? Attach clamp behind apparatus. All right, now it's getting to the point where I don't understand what's going on, even though I'm flowcharting this, and that's not okay. The flowchart has to be understandable. So if you need a picture in here, then put a picture in here. So I'm going to go find out if there is a picture here. Oh, there is no picture here. There's no picture in here. Okay, well, I am going to have to draw a picture and put it in there. Okay, so you're not going to have that problem because for you, the lab manual that we use for introductory chemistry has pictures, right? Okay, no, it doesn't always have pictures. Okay, so that's not something that I can require. So I understand that there are no pictures in these lab manuals, so that means when I grade your work, I'm not going to expect that I'll be able to understand the steps, but what I will expect is that every box has one step, and the boxes are in a logical order. For example, you do not record the masses in your lab notebook before you have weighed things. So in order to record a mass, you got to weigh something first, right? So I'm going to expect that your steps are in a logical order, and you continue to connect these with arrows, and you continue to add shapes, but you've got to figure out a way to put in a decision diamond in your procedure here. And I have a way in this procedure, right? So there's a decision to make right here. It says ensure that the apparatus is level, right? So when I get to that step, I'm going to be using a decision diamond. Is the apparatus level, right? So if the apparatus is level, then I'm going to use an arrow here, and I'm going to go to the next step, right? I'm going to bring some text down here to the arrow. I'm going to call it yes. You don't need to do it exactly the way I'm doing it. You don't even have to use Lucidcharts as your software necessarily. You could use some other software if you prefer. Wow, I don't know how I got this extra arrow here. Okay, so this is my yes option, and then I've got to have a no option. I've got to have a no option. So this is my no option. So if the apparatus is not level, then what do I do? Now, the lab procedure that I have chosen says ensure the apparatus is level. If necessary, place paper under the apparatus in order to raise one end. Okay, so then that means I got to, if it's no, then I got to place paper underneath the apparatus to force leveling, right? And then after I do that, I can go on to the next step. Right? After that, I can go on to the next step. So I have to make sure the apparatus is level, and then I can go on to the next step, or if it's not level, I have to level it, and then I can go on to the next step. So here I have used a decision diamond from the lab procedures. All right? I do not require you to put a copy of the text the way I have done here, but I do need to know which lab procedure you used. So please pick lab procedures from this lab manual and tell me the title of the lab that you chose. For example, if you choose to do density measurement part A, please tell me that. Write that somewhere on your chart. So instead of all of this, just write density measurement part A, right? Or, in my case, what I'm doing here is ballistic pendulum procedure steps 1 through 4, right? So I've got ballistic pendulum steps 1 through 4, right? So I will connect all of these, and I will have to add more steps between the last step that I made and the decision diamond. And at the very end, I need to end with a terminator, right? And it is okay, it is totally fine to just say that the last step is end. So after the last step, end, okay? So this is not a complete flow chart. I expect you to make a complete flow chart. You've got to have one decision diamond, and you've got to have at least 5 steps. Actually, perhaps 5 is too few. You've got to have at least, what have I got here on the board right now? 6, 8? Okay, you've got to have at least 8 shapes, okay? Thank you, bye.